Hi. I am honestly so sorry that I have made you wait this long. I have now seen the Wicked movie 3 times. You're probably like, Samantha, only 3 times? Yeah, listen. I have been sick for essentially all of December. It's fine. I think I've held enough space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity that it's time for me to sit down and talk to you about Wicked. Honestly, I've held so much space that that joke probably isn't even funny anymore. We're probably over that joke already. But finally, here we are. To rip the band aid off, I loved this movie. I love Wicked. If you are new here, hi, my name's Samantha, and I love Wicked. I should probably just start introducing myself like that to people. I have been a fan of Wicked the Musical since middle school. Like a lot of people, Wicked was my gateway into musical theater. Once I knew that a movie adaptation of Wicked was finally actually happening, it's been rumored for like the last 20 years. There have been so many Wicked movie rumors like forever and ever. But once I knew it was finally happening, I was thrilled and even more thrilled to see that John Chu was directing. I am so happy to say that I have been celebrating the fact that he was tapped in as the director for this movie from the day it was announced. I've been a fan of John Chu's since the best airplane movie ever, Crazy Rich Asians. He directed that film. And he also did the movie musical adaptation of In the Heights, which I loved. I knew that it was in good hands from the beginning. One of my favorite things about the Wicked movie is that it took us into the world of Oz and Wicked. That is something really only a movie adaptation can do. I know a lot of people are precious about adaptations and how they handle the source material, but let me give a little piece of advice. If an adaptation of something doesn't meet the standards that you as a fan have created in your head, it actually doesn't ruin or affect the source material. It's a completely separate thing. I went into this movie so excited, but knowing that, like, okay, if this doesn't meet my standards, if I leave a little disappointed, that's all right because I still have the Broadway show that I absolutely love and adore. Thankfully, I was thrilled. But also just keep that in mind the next time you get like really nervous about an adaptation of something. It doesn't affect the source material. You still have that. That still gets to be a special thing for you. I genuinely think I was the most satisfied I probably could have been with the Wicked movie. Once the credits began to play, I sat in my seat and just sobbed. Like many of us. I think that was a pretty universal experience. I cannot explain the feeling that washed over me when the credits were playing. I know a lot of people had qualms or still have qualms with the movie being split into two, but Defying Gravity at the end of Act 1 is just one of the best end of Act 1 numbers out there, and seeing that in a theater and seeing the blackout happen and then just the lights come up and it's intermission is a spiritual experience. And I do like that this was their way of giving that to a movie audience. Now, is the intermission like a year long? Yeah. But I do like that it got to end on the high of Defying Gravity. For me personally, I think there's just been so much anticipation of this Wicked movie, and Wicked means so much to me in so many different ways, and I've had some really incredible experiences with it, and just the material itself has like held various amounts of space in different seasons of my life, if that makes sense. And all of that was just kind of like hitting me during Defying Gravity, and then just when the score started to play over the credits, I found myself like processing some trauma. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot to be hit with. But of course, Wicked will do that to you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't really know how to structure this review because I just have so many thoughts. So I'm just going to take you through my notes app. That's what we're going to do. Starting off with the witches. I am thrilled with this witch pairing. I think they knocked it out of the park. Now, talking about Cynthia's Elphaba, oh my God. Cynthia gave Elphaba a tenderness that I've never seen before. In my experiences with seeing Elphaba in the stage show, love her, love that girl, have loved basically everyone I've seen do it. But Elphaba on stage is a little harsh or like abrasive, and I know that that's like her defense mechanism, and that's it's the whole like, all right, let's get this over with, like, no, I didn't eat grass as a child, no, I'm not seasick. Like, I understand that there's a defensiveness and an edge there to her naturally, but Cynthia still managed to play her with this like tenderness that I had never really seen before. The tenderness that this Elphaba had leading up to Defying Gravity really shifted the way that I viewed that song. In the scene that happens right before Defying Gravity, we are seeing Elphaba's whole belief system crumble in front of her. She was this close to getting this dream of hers, this version of her life that she had always imagined, and then it fell apart right in front of her, and she realized that it was all a lie. I think a lot of people tend to think of Defying Gravity as an empowering song, which it is because it's her taking power of a broken moment. But this was the first time that I really saw Defying Gravity with this undertone of heartbreak through all of it. Heartbreak because Glinda can't come with her. We can get into this a little bit, but I used can't very specifically because I've seen people be like, why didn't Glinda go with her? Why didn't Glinda go with her? For people who don't know the show, I think more of Glinda's inner workings and inner dialogue really do get to be displayed in the second movie, which I'm so excited for. Defying Gravity, this version really just had the underlying heartbreak of Glinda not being able to go with her dreams of the wizard and just the world as she knew it being shattered in front of her, and her just really realizing that she's on her own. And like that wrecked me. The sincerity that Cynthia brought to Elphaba really just amplified her entire performance as a whole. I like feel like I can't even be like, and that voice though, because obviously her voice is insane. Her voice is absolutely insane. Speaking, well, I'll get into my thoughts about Defying Gravity later because I do have like a thought. I'm not even gonna call it a critique, but we'll get there. Ariana. Ariana as Glinda. I, I've been thrilled with this casting really since day one. I think I fell for a little bit of the bandwagon for a moment of like, oh gosh, I hope she doesn't throw like Yuz in there. She was never going to. Ariana has been a theater kid since she was a kid. I guess that's super redundant. But we all know, we've all seen the interview clips of like how special this is for her, how full circle it is for her and her relationship with Kristen. It's perfect. She was a perfect Glinda. She still made Glinda her own. We've all heard the TikTok sound. Like when she hit that right, like hysterical. Another moment that I love is in What Is This Feeling? Yeah, well, my face is flushing. Love it. The personality and humanity that she brought to Glinda, I just adored. And vocals, yeah, obviously. Ate it up. Ate it up. I really can't like I don't think I have any like nuanced specific take of Ariana's Glinda because I just think she was perfect. I am not spiritually ready to see her sing Thank Goodness though. That's what I'm talking about. Like when we're really going to get into the nitty gritty of like Glinda's character and inner dialogue. Thank Goodness is my favorite Glinda song. I think it is Glinda's truest song. It's going to wreck me. Yeah, I'm going to have to like go to therapy after that one. Mr. Jonathan Bailey, Mr. Fiyero, Mr. Man in the Tight White Pants. My God, the charm. The second he rode in on that horse, I was already like kicking my feet and giggling. It's genuinely unreal the amount of charm that he has and the charisma and the chemistry that he has with everything. Adored his voice. Dancing Through Life is one of my favorite numbers in this show. I love how they did it. I think he knocked it out of the park. Yes, I see a lot of people being like, he's old. He looks old. I don't care. I have to be so honest. Like, yes, they're in college. The age thing has always been a very interesting conversation about Wicked of like, wait, but like, how old are they actually? And like, what's the time jump between act one and act two? Because when we pick up in part two, there's going to be like, there's a time jump. I don't know. I just genuinely think Jonathan was perfect. I have no notes for his performance. Maybe his college experience has been like delayed a few times. Obviously, he like bounces around from school to school. Maybe he's just old. You can be in college at any age, really. There were so many moments in Dancing Through Life that just had me in a chokehold, but I have to acknowledge the moment when he licks his when he licks his fingers and pushes that guy back by the forehead and then body rolls off of him. The sexuality that he gave Fiyero, or honestly that the choreographer gave Fiyero, I am obsessed with. That suaveness, is that a word? Was so good. Watching everyone do the Dancing Through Life choreo on TikTok, that's like the only TikTok dance that I feel like I've really like tried to learn. It's not even a TikTok dance. I hate that I called it that. But that's like a dance trend that I've seen people doing. And I'm like, oh, it makes me want to try to dance. I'm not going to do it, but it makes me want to try. I want to talk about all of the numbers in the show, but I feel like if I really do that, I'm going to yap too much. So I'm going to do that little TikTok trend where it's ranking the songs from Wicked by how close I am to the camera. Is that how they word it? Yeah, sure.
Defying gravity, we deserve each other, me and Bach. No one mourns the wicked, no one cries. Whenever I see someone less fortunate than I, and let's face it, right, who isn't? One short day in the Emerald City, one short day. Did that really just happen? Have I actually?
I tried to do the riff here and it's not gonna happen.
Ever loathing, truly, deeply low.
I am a sentimental man. Something bad. Sorry, bad.
Oh, hallowed halls and vine draped.
Now, yes, I'm a big, massive fan of Wicked, but let's get into some of my like critiques, okay? Because you want notes, you want my thoughts. You don't just want me to sit here and be like, I loved every minute of it. I did, but I still, had thoughts. My biggest critique being, I wanted it louder. Maybe it's just because I'm used to hearing this like score in a theater or in my car when I have it cranked up all the way. But the second that verse dun, 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 hits, I want that in my ears. No One Mourns the Wicked. I wanted it louder. And I saw it in IMAX and I saw it in Dolby. Had the same critique both times. I was like, what's going on? I want the music. I wanted to feel like the music was in the room with us. And obviously I know they did like Dolby, like partnerships, sponsorships or whatever, but because they were like, see it in Dolby, so the music, the surround sound, whatever. No, it did not hit the way that they were talking like it would. But apparently it's going to be available at home soon, so I'm going to crank that. Now let's talk about Defying Gravity. I didn't really love the break in momentum in Defying Gravity. Talking about like when she smashes through the window and then is falling and sees the younger version of herself and then goes up and we get the, it's me. The end of Defying Gravity, the momentum that happens in that song originally is one of the most beautifully like built songs and scenes I've seen in a musical. The guards coming up, getting Glinda, Elphaba sacrificing herself essentially and saying, no, get away from her. I'm the one you want. She's not a part of this. She didn't do anything. I'm the one you want. It's me. It's me. Is when she rises in the theater and goes straight into, so if you can't find me, like, and it really hits this moment. There's such a gorgeous crescendo there. And I understand breaking that moment to just really tug at our heartstrings again with having Elphaba fall before flying. Like, you know, I see the symbolism in it again, but it just really like cut that momentum for me. I still sobbed. Like, I was still moved by that moment for sure. For me, in the musical, Elphaba's moment of "It's me," it's a moment of transformation. To me, it has this power of her saying, essentially, fine, I'll be who you want me to be. I'm the one you want. I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. It's me. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. Like, it's this transformative moment claiming this new identity. It's obviously still beautiful, but then when she like breaks away and then goes into the clouds and does that like unlimited thing, that leading into "It's Me" more so reads as a moment of "it's only me," like I'm on my own, and her finding the power in that kind of turns into a different moment entirely for me, which again, still gorgeous. Just listen to the original Defying Gravity. Again, I understand things are different and that's okay. And I respect them for making a different choice because it is still beautiful and I still really like it. But I just found myself missing like that build into the like so if you're gonna find me, that was my thought on Defying Gravity. And I've seen some people share this opinion, so I know that I'm not alone in it. But I'm curious, did you like the break? Or did you kind of miss the momentum as well? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. This is not a critique. This is just a moment that absolutely shattered me when Glinda is watching Elphaba become the Wicked Witch after she dons the cape and we have that sick-ass cape shot. When Ari is standing in the corner watching her, it's just this picture here. The way that she was crying is how I was crying. This is how I look when I watch Wicked, when I listen to Wicked. This moment of Glinda watching Elphaba become this new version of herself and stepping into this power wrecked me. Let's talk about the cameo. Obviously, I've been talking a lot about like the original Broadway cast recording and the original Broadway cast and everything. I loved the cameo. I thought it was a great way to add in lore to the story of the Grimmery and, you know, the Wise Ones and the battle cry, the one with the true ability to do magic. I'm excited because I think and I hope that they maybe explore more of why Elphaba has magical powers in the second one. Like, is she just a part of the prophecy? I'm trying to like not get into spoiler territory here, but I like genuinely don't know if I can. I guess I'll say this. We know why she's green, but where do her powers actually come from? There's a piece of something that I want to say, but I feel like it'll just like spoil something for new people, so I don't want to. I'm not gonna lie, guys, my camera has died like 3 times towards the end of this video, and I loved the cameo. I don't remember what I said. Loved the cameo, loved the lore, all of the foreshadowing. So well done. So well done. It's been so fun to talk to people who don't know Wicked and don't really know what the foreshadowing is leading to and seeing what they've picked up on versus what they haven't. Loved Bach, for example, saying that he cries a lot. All of Fiyero's poses in Dancing Through Life. A lot of his physicality. The lion cub. The bike. The basket. There are so many good visuals and things that they're setting up, which are beautiful references and foreshadowing moments for the fans. And I am so excited for people who don't know Wicked at all to watch what happens in part 2 and then go back and watch part 1 and like see how it was all alluded to. I love that stuff. I am very curious as to where this scene was, or like the montage moment that happens in this scene, because it looked gorgeous in the trailer and I really wanted to see a little bit more of like when the gang is all friends. I don't know if this is going to be in part 2, maybe like in a flashback, but I also think I saw somewhere saying that it's just there was stuff that got cut, but it was in the trailer. What a tease. I don't know. This moment just looked so beautiful. I really wanted to see it. I do have a critique. Dr. Dillamond, I don't know why it had to be Peter Dinklage. I didn't like his voice. I really like Peter Dinklage as an actor, but I didn't really care for his voice. Snow Leopard, though. Hear me out, cake. Madame Morrible. I love Michelle Yeoh so much. I love her, love her, love her. I was a little nervous about her casting, not for the acting beats, but a little bit vocally. I think there's still maybe another version of Madame Morrible in the movie that's out there that I would have liked to see. Madame Morrible is typically played almost a bit as like a caricature. I understand them humanizing her a bit more for this film. In a lot of ways, that makes her scarier. I am so curious to see what version of Madame Morrible she gives us in part two. Because obviously, at the end of this movie, we learn that maybe Madame Morrible doesn't have the best intentions and is revealed to be a little bit evil. I'm so curious to see how she plays that in part two when more of her true intentions and actions are revealed. Again, I understand humanizing her a bit more. I mean, even the wizard, like Jeff Goldblum's the wizard wasn't out of this world eccentric and everything, and I don't always think that he needs to be played that way. I see the merit in making them a little bit more human, like politicians. Politicians are scary. I definitely viewed this Madame Morrible as more of like a political figure with evil intent rather than this like caricature. But I think the caricature could have helped the switch up because so many people I talked to were like, yeah, she seemed a little evil and sus at Oz. And I do kind of wish we got a little bit more of like the like, oh, Miss Elphaba, many years I've waited. Like just a little bit more of like a little more. Kill her? Kill her. They really said kill her. If you don't know, in the original version, they go, get her at the end of Defying Gravity. And they said, kill her. Really raises the stakes, doesn't it? I'm sure I'm going to have 1,000 more thoughts, but I do want to end on this note. I know I already said this, but I love seeing new fans explore Wicked in this way. I am so excited to see new fans see what happens in part two. I love seeing all the theories and just seeing what connects with people who aren't familiar with the source material like at all. It has been so fun to be some of my friends like resident Wicked person to come to and be like, well, but what about this? What about this? Very interesting because I've been in so many circles where it's like when I'm talking about Wicked, there's no such thing as a spoiler warning because some of us have been in it. Some of us just are in the world of it. And so we just yap about it for days and days. And so it's been really fun to be in some new circles of people who don't know musical theater at all, but who like fell in love with this movie. That's the goal of this. I'm so happy that I saw so many people fall in love with the story through a movie adaptation. This is a good thing. I'm seeing some like theater kid purists online being like, oh, all these new Wicked fans are so annoying. Like, they don't get it. I saw someone chewing someone out for calling What Is This Feeling loathing. Like, oh my God, my favorite song is the Loathing song. I'm sorry. I think we all did that. Like, or at least when I was in middle school discovering Wicked, I would refer to it as loathing all the time. I had to like retrain my brain to be like, it's What Is This Feeling? All that is to say, if you are a diehard fan like me, have patience with the newcomers. This is a good thing. It's a fantastic thing that so many people are falling in love with Wicked this way. It makes me so happy. It's been honestly, it's been such a lovely month, other than me being sick for like all of it, of just getting to celebrate the joy of Wicked. And that is incredible. I'm so glad that we live in this world now. The other obviously fun Wicked news is that Wicked is going to be available to watch at home on December 31st. I don't know where or how. This was literally just announced today as I'm filming this video. So that's really exciting. And we also obviously got the part 2 title, which I wasn't expecting them to do. I just thought it was going to be Wicked and then Wicked part 2. But I really like Wicked for Good. It feels a bit obvious to me, but For Good as a song holds the heart of Wicked, in my opinion. That is what the show is about. It is about this friendship. It is about people coming and going in different seasons of our lives. It's about the role we play in other people's lives. It is the heart of Wicked. And so I'm so glad that they picked that as a title. Please help me in doing some manifesting that I will be at the LA or New York Wicked for Good premiere Would love to be there. Let's put it in motion. Yes, it's on my vision board for 2025. I am deeply, deeply excited for part 2. Thank you so much for wanting to hear my thoughts about Wicked. I feel like, yes, this may have been a little scrambled because I'm literally just throwing thoughts out there to a camera, but this movie brought me so much joy. Getting to share this movie with other people brought me so much joy. Getting to share in the joy of this movie with you has brought me so much joy. The fact that I've received so many comments from people being like, hey babe, where's the Wicked video? Like, when are you going to sit down and talk about Wicked with us? I love that you wanted this. Please, please, please do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I hate to ask, but please do it because I am actually quite close to hitting 100K on this channel, and I want that plaque, babes. I do. I want it to say Samantha Fekete on that plaque. I am so grateful for this community. I am so grateful to be building this community. Believe me, 2025 has a lot in store for you and for me. Thank you so much, sincerely. If you missed it, I did do a 2024 theater roundup on my Instagram that holds a lot of gratitude and thanks and love for you there. So go check that out. I am so incredibly grateful for a lot of the experiences that I've had this year. A lot that I really wish hindsight's a bitch. You know, it's dumb. Sometimes I use a lot of should language and I'm really trying to work on that. Okay. So I'm not going to say that I should have made content out of a lot of the moments this year that meant a lot to me and that were very transformative for me. But I am thrilled to say that a lot of those moments have centered around musical theater, have centered around me getting to just share in the joy of things that I love. And you guys are a part of that. 2025 has a lot of good stuff in store for us. I can feel it. I know it. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I love Wicked. Did I have any other thoughts? I'm honestly just taking a moment because I know that the second I end this video and start to edit it, I'm going to be like, oh, I should have said this. I should have said this. I love the girl with the bob. You know, that girl. The drummer. And the Ozdust ballroom scene. I love the Ozdust. Oh my God. The Ozdust ballroom scene. Gorgeous, beautiful, sobbing. Popular, great. Wizard and I, beautiful. The birds flying off the cliff to me felt like a moment of symbolism for the flying monkeys when she runs out to the cliff and all the birds go. Like, it looked like her with her flying monkeys. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's what I saw. That's what I felt. Yeah, okay. Before my battery dies again, I think that's it. But let's talk Wicked in the comments, please. Just throw all of your thoughts, your hot takes, your opinions, whatever. Just go. Ariana's eyelash bothered me. Sorry. In some of the first sequences we see of her eyelash in the inner corner is like lifted up, and that bothered me. I was like, come on, what are we doing? Anyway, I think I just have to go. I will see you guys later. Bye.